Hey guys, it's Caleb here. Today we're going to learn how to import data into Power BI. You can work with data in Power BI from several sources, most notably Microsoft Excel, CSV files, direct queries to databases, AWS storage, and various other file types. Let's walk through the data menu now. So if you're on your Power BI application, you can hit this under Home, Get Data. And a window will pop up here that shows you all of the different sources that you can get your data from. So here's Excel and text, like I was telling you about a minute ago. You can see your database connections here. If you scroll down, you'll see a couple of other interesting ones, like here's Azure. You can load things in from Salesforce. LinkedIn is kind of interesting. Zendesk for ticketing. You can sometimes import things in from Exchange or Outlook. You can also work with R and Python in here. So you'll see all of these different sources. Today, we're just going to start with a very simple one, Microsoft Excel. So from the Start menu, Home, you can go to Get Data in Excel, or you can just hit this Excel button here. And we're going to navigate to our data set. So I'm going to import this homework 4 data. Thank you, Boston College. All right, so this navigator box will open up, and what you're going to want to do here is select the sheet where your data is located. I find it best to have the underlying Excel formatted, so where the rows are in the row headers are in row 1, and the first column is an A. That way there's no real confusion with Power BI. So take a quick peek at this, just to make sure, give it a spot check, but don't spend too much time here, because if we make any changes, we can make the changes later. All right, so let's select Load and give it a minute to load. So here's our data set. Let's take a deeper look at it. So on the left, on your Power BI application, you will see reporting, data, and models. So we're going to go into this data view so that we can see the underlying data that we just imported. I can tell you that everything has imported correctly because I've done this a few times, but if some type of column was imported incorrectly, you can go back and make changes, and we're going to cover that in a future video. So let's do a couple of cleanups here, some minor changes so that you can see formatting changes. So this date here is an incorrect format. What I'd like to just see is the year and month. So I'm going to select this column, and you'll see column tools pop up. And we're just going to drop down and change the format to year and month. All right. So the underlying data here is graphing out expected returns and cumulative returns for 2 different investment funds. So the expected returns columns here are going to be in percentages. So let's go ahead and change that. You can see the percentage here. All right, and we'll do this fund, and here's the expected return on the market. Okay, so this CRFFR is the cumulative returns of $1 invested in 1995. So we're actually just going to change that up here to the currency, and then we will set this to 2 digits that you can see out to the penny. You'll notice that this is pretty similar to Microsoft Excel. You can just kind of change the different formats. All right, let's do the same here. And change it to 2. Okay, And now you'll see that there's column 7 and column 16. I'm not really sure how these got into the database, so let's just go ahead and get rid of them. If you click on the column and then you right click, you can just hit delete. All right. And at this point, we're done formatting the data. We're ready to build our first visualization. One thing that you'll notice is that there's a field columns over here. Ignore this data set. We're going to be working with this one. You can see that the formatted date has been imported as a calendar, and then there's a lot of other sum numeric totals for various different attributes within this data that we're going to work on in the future. What you'll notice is that this fields window here transfers over to the reporting. So this is where you'll access your data when we start building reports. All right, and with that, you are ready to import your first data set into Power BI.